Defense Forces Chief of Staff, Sir Lieutenant General.
And next is the staff at the hospital.
Honorable Minister of Defense and National Service, Dr. Sagomena Mamarisat, we are proceeding with our today's program, and now it is time for groundbreaking event. This event will involve two groups. The first one will be you, guest of honor, Honorable Minister of Health, together with Your Excellency German Ambassador Regine Case. After that group, the second group will involve representative of the chairman of Permanent Committee for following Defense Forces Chief of Staff, Sir Lieutenant General.
And next is the staff at the hospital.
The second group.
Tunashukuru sana mgeni wetu pamoja na waziri wetu Ulinzi Dr. Tax. Tunashukuru sana kwa ajili ya kutuwekea jiwe letu la msingi kwa ajili ya uzinduzi wa hospitali yetu ya jeshi. Hakika hospitali hii itakuwa imetusaidia sana, itatatua changamoto mbalimbali kwa mahasa, askari pamoja na familia zao na hata wananchi wanaotuzunguka. Hakika ushirikiano wetu baina ya Tanzania na Ujerumani kudumu. Jeshi la Ulinzi la wananchi wa Tanzania hoye!
I'm very happy to be here and to witness with you for the construction of the military hospital in Dodoma. This project is the biggest in the entire history of the German-Tanzanian cooperation in the military sector. The cooperation started in 1961 when Tanzania became independent and Germany started cooperating with Tanzania. So we are in our 61st year. We cooperate with the staff. We bring officers from TPDF to Germany for training. We invite ministers to visit. We have a military attaché who works from Nairobi. He's in charge of all of these more political work. And we have GAFTAB, which stands for German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group. They have started working in Tanzania 30 years ago. They are more hands-on, they do lots of facilities. They work from Arusha to Mwanza, Dodoma, Dar es Salaam. They've put in workshops, health facilities. Why are we doing this? Germany has the ambition to help build the African security architecture. The African Union has the ambition to have regional standby forces and to equip African armies so that they can participate in the standby forces and in regional and in international missions. And to enable African troops to get to the standard that they can do that, because when you send, for instance, Tanzanian soldiers to a mission, like in Congo, they have to come with their equipment, they have to be trained to the standards so that they can be able to contribute to these missions meaningfully. So the German army came in to help here. We're concentrating on two sectors, which are health and logistics and maintenance. Because it's one thing that officers strategize and they know how to use their weapons, but if they cannot use a vehicle to go to where the battle is, that's all the other knowledge is not so useful. So we come in to help there, and the German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group, GAFTAG, has trained many technicians. They've built these workshops. The biggest is in Lugalo at the barracks, and where all cars can get repaired. The other sector is health. Soldiers' job description is actually to sacrifice their lives for the cause of their own countries or other countries. That's a huge commitment. And they have to be treated with respect. And one part of respectful meeting is offering good medical service. So when you are wounded, you know somebody will look after you. You help with the morale of your troops a lot when you have good medical services. That's where we come in as GAFTAG and the German government. We have done several medical services, and the outstanding so far is the infectious disease center in Lugalo. Now the military hospital will top that, will be even bigger. We hope to finalize it in end of 2024. It will have services which are open for civilians, which is very nice. So the contribution of the German government doesn't only go to soldiers and the families, but to the general public. I must say, I would hope we wouldn't need all these services. When you look around the world, it seems conflicts are not stopping. We even have more conflicts. Now, you have heard in the news that there is even war luring between Russia and Ukraine. Everybody hopes that diplomats might find a solution to that. In the 21st century, we're still not able to solve our conflicts by talking. We still need weapons. Personally, I am very unhappy about the situation. But it seems there is need for what we do, and there's need to still cooperate with TPDF to equip them. I know, and I'm sure it will continue to be like that the TPD officers are doing respectful work when they are in the missions, and when you are working in your country, you have security challenges right at your doorstep now when you look to the southern border. So I know what we're doing will be put to good use, unfortunately, as I would like to add, I would wish for the world to be more peaceful, and that soldiers mainly contribute to stabilizing and ensuring peace. And together I hope we go towards that direction. Thank you very much.
General Kingule, sir, you are welcome.
Guest of honor, Minister of Defense and National Service, Honorable Dr. Stagomena Lawrence Tax, Member of Parliament, the Ambassador of the Federal Government of German Tanzania, Your Excellency Madame Regina Hess, Minister of Health, Honorable Umi Mwalim, the representative of the Chairman of the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Defense and Security, Honorable Vita Kawawa, and the members of the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Defense and Security, whom we have been accompanied with. Let me register the presence of the members of the diplomatic corps accompanying the ambassador, the service commanders present, Chief of Branch at the Defense Force Headquarters, General Officers present, Senior and Junior Officers present, TPDF Sergeant Major, Warrant Officers present, Senior and Junior Officers, and men, civil servants, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen. Our guest of honor, on behalf of the Chief of Defense Forces, may I wish to begin by thanking the Almighty God for enabling us to witness yet another remarkable achievement in the history of the presence of the German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group in Tanzania, and the relationship of our two armed forces, the relationship between the United Republic of Tanzania and the Federal Republic of Germany. For the last 30 years, TPDF has been benefiting from this bilateral relation in the programs as follows. First, construction and the renovation and the equipment supply for military hospitals, which include the General Military Hospital at Lugalo, Dar es Salaam, zone hospitals in Zanzibar, Mbeya, Mwanza, Tabora, Nyumbu et Kibaha, Tanzania Military Academy in Monduli, Lugalo Infectious Disease Department, and the other dispensaries at the Peace Training Center in Kunduchi and Msata military training bases. Another important and critical project conducted by GAFTAG is the construction of colleges and schools, which include Military College of Medical Sciences, provision of mobile medical care unit, the mobile field hospital training at Lugalo, the construction of nursing schools at the military hospital Bububu in Zanzibar and Mwanza. The German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group has also provided an immense support in terms of peace support and the training assistance for mobile field hospital and the renovation of a military college of engineering and technology at the 501 Technical Battalion, and today here we also witness the construction of the Tanzania People's Defense Forces Military Level 4 Hospital. This is a great achievement as far as the bilateral relationship between the German Armed Forces and the Tanzania People's Defense Forces so far exist. As Your Excellency have alluded before, that our relationship started since our independence in 1961, immediately after our independence. But also the existence of German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group since in 1992. This is a huge and a very strategic and security project, which we immensely value it, because in the very near future, after the completion of this project, we expect it to address health security issues in this country. We really appreciate and thank very much the German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group in this group. Before I proceed, please allow me to share with you the background of this very important project on the construction of the General Military Hospital in Dodoma. It should be remembered that on the 6th of May 2019, there was a handover ceremony of the Zonal Military Hospital in Arusha, in which we received a delegation from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Government of Germany, led by Mr. Malte Lockens, and after that handing over ceremony, the President of the United Republic and the Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency the late Dr. Joseph John Pombe Magufuli, invited the delegation to visit him at the State House in Dar es Salaam. And during the talks, the late President Magufuli thanked them for their tireless effort to support Tanzania, and therefore advanced a request to the federal government of Germany to support again in building the General Military Hospital, because by then it was already decided that the capital city of the United Republic of Tanzania could be in Dodoma. And by then we've already moved in Dodoma. Guests of honor, on behalf of Chief of Defense Forces, I'm happy to report to you that the federal government of Germany agreed to his request. The construction of this hospital is expected to cost more than 19 Tanzanian shillings billion, which is a big amount of money, and to us would have taken us years to complete. The groundbreaking ceremony today and the ongoing initial construction works is a clear testimony that the dream of our former president, the late Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, seeing a general military hospital in Dodoma, is materialized. And as we had a fruitful discussion before this gathering, the project is expected complete in the coming 2 years. On behalf of the Chief of Defense Forces and on behalf of my fellow officers and men, women and men in uniform, and the civil servants of the Tanzania People's Defense Forces, I would like to sincerely thank the late President, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, for initiating the idea, and also thank the federal government of the Republic of Germany through the German Armed Forces for this charitable support and other such numerous assistance you have provided to us for many years. My sincere thanks goes also to the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany in Tanzania, under the strong leadership of Her Excellency Ambassador Regin Hess and her predecessors, as well as the German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group, which is currently under a dedicated stewardship, and the able Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Nalbach, the German staff, and the project manager, the able lady, strong lady, Miss Jacqueline Maeda, and the rest of our local staff. Honorable guests of honor, it is normal worldwide that military hospitals are basically intended to provide health care to the military personnel who are on active duty, their families and the dependents, and to those who have gone on retirement. While most emphasis is placed on the field activity and the medical services, the majority of the clinical activity and the healthcare costs arise from the healthcare in garrison. Briefly, allow me, guests of honor, to provide the operational and on-operational healthcare services, provide you the following statistics which proves that the medical healthcare facilities under the military are also for the benefit of the general public at large. The few statistics I will provide to you comes from the Zonal Military Hospital in Arusha. From 1st January of 2022 to the 5th of February 22, the Military Hospital in Arusha recorded a total number of 1,006 patients, of whom out of them 537 were military personnel, which accounts to 33.45% of the total of number of patients attended in that hospital. In that period, it also recorded a total of 441 families and dependents, which is equal to 27.47% of the total number of patients attended in that hospital. As well as, in that regard, 626 civilians from the neighborhood were attended in that hospital, and they account to 39% of the total number of patients which were recorded in that period. Now, from that statistics, guests of honor, you will agree with me in that the families and the dependents of soldiers are also civilians, and that they stay in the barracks. That being the case, I tend to build a case that the total of number of civilians who received medical treatment from the military hospital in Arusha during the reported period reached a total number of 1,067 patients, which accords to 66.47% of the total number of patients attended in that hospital. So this implies that the majority of the beneficiaries of the military medical services provided by our hospitals, the bigger part goes to the public at large. By the way, according to the National and the Defense Act, it is our responsibility to assist the civil authority and the civil power. Honorable guests of honor, I thought it is of utmost importance for me to highlight those few statistics to our donors to prove that the assistance they are providing to us through the construction of this hospital will also largely benefit the general public at large, thereby augmenting our government efforts in expanding healthcare services and addressing the issue of human security, which encompasses health security. It is not my intention to deliver a speech to this audience. My responsibility was to welcome you, guests of honor, to address this audience. But before I do that, I understand that we are accompanied with the Minister for Health, a strong leader again, who fought vigorously during that period of the first phase of pandemic, COVID-19, and everybody is aware of her. Honorable Umi Mwalimu, please, before I welcome the Minister, our guest of honor today, please come and address the audience.
Kubwa Mheshimiwa Waziri, ambalo nataka kusema, sisi kama Wizara ya Afya tumefurahi sana kuona wenzetu wa jeshi na wizara yako mnajenga hii hospitali ambayo itakuwa na vitanda kama ilivyoelezwa 124. Wote tunafahamu kwamba kuna wahamiaji wengi ambao wanakuja baada ya uamuzi wa serikali kuhamia Dodoma. Na takwimu zetu zinaonyesha kwa mkoa wa Dodoma tuna vituo vya kutoa huduma za afya 464 ambavyo vina jumla ya vitanda 1683. Tumeangalia WHO standards, lakini pia tumeangalia takwimu za idadi ya vitanda. Tunapima ufanisi wa upatikanaji wa huduma za afya kwa kuangalia wagonjwa pia ambao wanaweza kuhudumiwa na hospitali. Kwa hiyo hatupo vizuri kwa mkoa wa Dodoma kwa sababu population imekuwa haraka sana. Sensa ilikuwa inaonyesha watu milioni 2 lakini wameongezeka ndani ya miaka miwili 2.7 milioni. Kwa hiyo tunafurahi kuona hospitali hii itatuongezea vitanda katika mkoa wa Dodoma, vitanda vya hospitali kutoka 1683 vilivyopo hadi vitanda 1807. Kwa hiyo tunawashukuru sana. Lakini kubwa, nimefarijika na mipango ya jeshi letu kwamba hospitali hii pia wataweza kwenda kuiongeza kadri muda au mahitaji yatakavyohitajika. Kwa hiyo sisi tuahidi kama Wizara ya Afya, Mheshimiwa Waziri, tutakupa ushirikiano kuhakikisha hospitali hii inakamilika, lakini pia ninaahidi pia tutahakikisha usajili unapatikana kwa wakati, na kubwa tutaingiza kwenye bajeti yetu ya dawa mwaka wa fedha 2022 na 23. Tunaingiza hospitali hii rasmi katika mgao wa fedha za dawa. Kwa hiyo mtapata dawa moja kwa moja kutoka kwenye bajeti pia ya serikali. Lakini kubwa, nimefurahishwa na takwimu ambazo wamezionyesha Chief of Staff kwamba 66% ya wagonjwa ambao wanatibiwa hapa ni wananchi. Kwa hiyo narudia tena kutoa ombi langu kwako Mheshimiwa Waziri, tunaomba mipango ya kufanya upanuzi wa hospitali hii iwepo pia, hususan kuweka huduma za kibingwa. Tuna hospitali 2 tu Dodoma zinazotoa huduma za kibingwa, Benjamin Mkapa Hospital na Dodoma General Referral Hospital. Kwa hiyo tutaomba, wakati sasa hivi ni basic hospital, lakini lengo letu tungeomba kwako Mheshimiwa Waziri, jeshi letu pia lifikirie kuifanya hii kuwa ni hospitali ya magonjwa ya matibabu ya kibingwa, specialized healthcare services. Na niseme sisi kama serikali tunakusudia kujenga hospitali kubwa ya kibingwa Dodoma yenye zaidi ya vitanda 500. Kwa hiyo uhitaji wa hospitali za kibingwa Dodoma ni mkubwa sana. Kwa hiyo tunaomba hilo lizingatiwe. Mwisho ni maombi yetu kwako Mheshimiwa Waziri pia kupitia kwetu kwa jeshi tuendelee kushirikiana katika utoaji wa huduma za kibingwa. Bado tuna changamoto kwenye masuala ya cardiovascular disease, tunahitaji madaktari bingwa. Kwa hiyo tunaomba pia madaktari wako Mheshimiwa Waziri wanaweza pia wakatimu hapo na madaktari wetu katika hospitali zetu za rufaa za kanda. Tunahitaji watu wa interventional radiologist, cardiac surgery na mambo mengine. Mheshimiwa Waziri, baada ya kusema hayo nishukuru tena kwa mwaliko huu, lakini niseme ni dhamira ya Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan kuhakikisha kwamba jiji na mkoa wa Dodoma unakuwa na huduma bora za afya za kisasa za ngazi ya juu, kwa sababu ndio makao makuu ya nchi. Asanteni sana, nashukuru kwa mwaliko na Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki.
Your Excellency Regine Hess, German Ambassador to Tanzania, Honorable Umi Mwalim, Minister of Health, Honorable Vita Kawawa, and all members of the Defense and Security Standing Committee of Parliament. Ninawatambua waheshimiwa wabunge wenzangu na wajumbe wa kamati ya NUC. Asanteni sana kwa kuwa na sisi, pamoja na kwamba mwaliko ulikuwa mfupi sana. Asante Mheshimiwa Vita Kawawa kwa kujumuika na sisi. Lieutenant General Matthew Mkingule, Chief of Staff of Tanzania People's Defense Force, Major General Amiri Mwami, Chief of Medical Services, Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Nalbach, Commanding Officer, German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group, Ms. Jacqueline Maeda, Project Manager, officers and men present here, ladies and gentlemen. I would have said good morning. I'm not sure whether it's still a morning or afternoon. Let me just say Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Asanteni. I'm greatly honored and privileged to be accorded this opportunity to grace the inauguration ceremony. Now it is a groundbreaking ceremony of the construction of Level 4 Military Hospital here at Msalato, Dodoma. Allow me to begin by welcoming you all to this occasion and thanking you very much for attending. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, our partnership, as it has already been said, has a long history since 1961. And for the past 30 years, the German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group has been supporting Tanzania's People's Defense Forces in the field of medical services, among others, that is since 1992. Through construction, renovation, and supplying of equipment to military hospitals, construction of schools and colleges, peace and support training assistance, as well as training and technical support, as it was illuminated by the Chief of Staff with clear and concrete projects. We appreciate that this support is also aligned to the African Union peace architecture, and in that regard, it contributes greatly to the strengthening and sustenance of peace and security, not only in Tanzania, but to our continent as a whole. On behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, and in that case, the Minister of Defense and National Service, may I extend our gratitude to the government and people of Germany and the German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group team for the continued support to the Tanzanian People's Defense Force. This signifies the long historical cooperation between Germany and the United Republic of Tanzania. May I assure Your Excellency our commitment to sustain our partnership. Today we are here to once again celebrate the groundbreaking of the construction of this state-of-art, a quality mission-oriented Level 4 military hospital. This is a clear testimony of our continued partnership. Na hapa nitaongea kwa Kiswahili kidogo, pamoja na kuwashukuru wenzetu wanaotusaidia serikali ya Ujerumani. Naomba nitoe shukrani za dhati kwa maono ya viongozi wetu wakuu kwa kuona umuhimu wa kuwa na hospitali hii kwa jeshi la wananchi wa Tanzania, na ambayo itatoa huduma kwa wananchi kwa ujumla kama ilivyosemwa. Mnadhimu mkuu wa jeshi ameeleza historia jinsi wazo la kuwa na hospitali hii lilivyoanza, lakini pia waziri wa afya ameeleza umuhimu wa hospitali hii kwa jeshi, lakini pia kwa wananchi kwa ujumla. Kwa hiyo tunashukuru sana kwa maono ya viongozi wetu, kwani hospitali hii itakuwa ni miongoni mwa hospitali kubwa na ya rufaa jijini Dodoma na nchini Tanzania, ikiwa na huduma zote muhimu. Pamoja na kwamba tunaanza taratibu, lakini lengo letu ni kuhakikisha kwamba kadri tunavyokwenda tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba hospitali hii ni miongoni mwa hospitali kubwa jijini Dodoma. Kama alivyoeleza Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Afya, ni maono na matamanio ya rais wetu Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan kuhakikisha kwamba tunadumisha huduma za afya. Kwa hiyo huduma za afya ni muhimu kwa jeshi letu, lakini pia ni muhimu kwa wananchi kwa ujumla. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Waziri, ni kuhakikishie tu kwamba huo mpango uliouongelea upo, ni kiasi tu cha kuleta kwako na kuona kwamba wizara zetu mbili zinafanyaje kazi pamoja, na pingine si wizara mbili tu, kwa sababu tutahitaji wadau wengine kama wizara ya fedha. Kwa hiyo hili tutalifanya, na tunashukuru pia kwa commitment yako ya kwamba unaingiza hospitali hii katika mpango wako wa fedha wa mwaka ujao, ila tuombe iingizwe katika mwaka wa fedha 23-24, kwa sababu hapo ndio itakapoanza kufanya kazi kimadawa, lakini kitaratibu zingine za maandalizi tuanze kufanya kazi kuanzia mwaka ujao wa fedha. May I in a special way also express our appreciation to the German government through German Armed Forces Technical Advisory Group for the dedicated efforts to facilitate the construction of this Level 4 military hospital. We thank you very much. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I'm informed that the total cost of this project is about 6.34 million euros, which is equivalent to about 20 billion Tanzanian shillings. This is a big commitment to fostering our cooperation and partnership We thank you tremendously. The completion of this project will enable Tanzania's People's Force to render quality medical services to our officers and men, and also to the neighboring community and the public at large. As it was said, let me not overemphasize that, because it was explained in detail by the previous speakers. I would also wish to say that health populations and as such health forces are more productive, save more, and they live longer. Good health is important for social cohesion, security, and stability. Should also be recognized that health security is an important dimension of human security, as it was said by the Chief of Staff, as good health is essential and instrumental to human survival, livelihood, and dignity. In this regard, good health is central to human well-being, and they contribute significantly to prosperity and as such economic progress and peace and security. Support from a true friend is that which enables one to prosper and sustain peace and security. Indeed, the federal government of Germany is a true friend and a reliable partner. And we wholeheartedly thank you for that. I've also been informed that the challenges that the German Armed Forces Advisory Group is experiencing in clearing equipment, which results into increased cost and a prolonged completion time of our projects. Not only this one project, but projects in general. Please be assured of my ministry's commitment to working with other players in order to ensure the challenge is addressed once and for all. As I conclude, allow me to once again thank everyone for attending and being with us this morning, and express our gratitude to the government of Germany for the continued support and partnership. May I also thank all who have been working tirelessly to ensure the realization of this project and the previous projects. May I call upon all involved to ensure timely completion of this project and value for money. Hili limesisitizwa sana na Mheshimiwa Rais wetu na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan kwamba miradi inapoanza tuhakikishe miradi hii inakamilika kwa wakati, lakini pia tunahakikisha kwamba fedha zilizotengwa zinatumika kwa ajili ya mradi. Sijui Kiswahili cha value for money, lakini vinatumika kwa thamani ya fedha. Kwa hiyo tujitahidi sana, sina wasiwasi kabisa. Najua kwamba mradi huu uko chini ya Jeshi la Wananchi wa Tanzania, na haya ni mambo ambayo mmekuwa mkiyafanya siku zote, ila tu ni kusisitiza kauli ya Mheshimiwa Rais na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu kwamba miradi ikamilike kwa wakati na kwa thamani ya fedha. Nawashukuru sana wote kwa kazi kubwa mnaoifanya inayoendelea katika kulinda amani ya nchi, lakini pia nawashukuru sana kwa kazi kubwa inayoendelea kwa kufanya katika mradi huu chini ya uongozi mahiri wa mkuu wa majeshi na wote ambao wamekuwa wakifanya naye kazi katika mradi huu na miradi mingine, lakini katika pia kuhakikisha nchi yetu inabaki na amani kama ilivyo. Si kazi ndogo, tuendelee kufanya hivyo. Mazingira yataendelea kuwa bora na bora kadri tunavyoendelea. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza. Long live our cooperation and partnership with Germany, and thank you very much. God bless us all. Thank you. Asanteni.